Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. There you are.
Yep. There I am. I was a little behind you there on this end. So
Gotcha. All right, we'll let people come on in. It looks like Dave, not in Cali, went ahead and made a post.
how come you're not in Cali, Dave?
All right, now we got a viewer. Good. And a little special announcement. Abraham, Methuselah, Malachi, Zachariah, whatever you want to call him.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest
Gump after running across the country. Yeah.
The one and only, the legend Michael should be joining us today for there he is.
There he is.
There's Methuselah. Good morning, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, no. He's going to make an entrance. Okay. He's got to draw it out, you know.
Oh, of course. Well, thank you for joining us. I know you got to be on for a few minutes, so let's go ahead and get into it. Good morning, Patriots. So, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be breaking down the State of the Union address. It was pretty phenomenal, and it came off of probably one of the most epic wins that we could have for our country in 46 years. I'm referring to America's hockey win against Canada, winning the gold, an absolute miracle of our modern day. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and get right into it.
Trump opened by celebrating American triumph, from the record-setting economy to the gold medal hockey team that electrified the chamber with chants of USA, before pivoting to a devastating indictment of Democrat failures on immigration, crime, and the affordability crisis that they themselves created. He then turned the emotional screws with the stories of angel families like Irina Zarutska and Sarah Beckram, forcing Democrats to actually physically sit in visible silence while the nation watched them refuse to stand for victims of violent crime. And he closed by going on offense, calling for a ban on congressional insider trading that put Pelosi on blast, demanding accountability on fraud, and issuing the defining challenge of the night, what may indeed be the single most defining moment of 2026.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
That, my friends, was an absolute masterpiece. Trump and the GOP played that perfectly. As you said, they wouldn't stop applauding. And with every clap, the Democrats were more and more and more humiliated in front of the entire nation. Nothing, literally nothing demonstrated their betrayal of the American people more than that moment. In fact, Republican consultants are literally licking their chops to endlessly loop that video for the rest of the year, all the way to the midterms. The Democrats actually filmed themselves for the Republican campaign commercial, the ultimate campaign commercial. Again, absolute brilliance.
So let's just savor that for a moment. Michael, I know you're kind of short on time, so I'll let you go first. What is your big takeaway from that?
Well, first, in watching it again for the 12th time, that moment, obviously, yeah. I do intend to rewatch the entire speech because I was at a watch party, and there's a lot of talking and cheering and commenting. So I but in watching it that time, the two moments that stood out to me were just Trump's face. One,
right?
Where, it's spontaneous. He goes, You know, he puts his hands like, he's like, can you believe it? Like, that's what he said. Can you believe it? And then as he's listening, then he goes like this. He goes,
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like he didn't have to say anything. So my overall takeaway is from that moment. I mean, from the whole night, but from that moment, that's this obviously the stark reminder. But what I see there is demonic capture, right? Ooh. This is the most important room and the most important moment in that room in history, right? As we are moving forward in history, that's the most divided room on the planet. And you see that the numbers are not in their favor, right? It's like they may have a big portion of the room, but it's a smaller portion than the rest of the room, right? Mm-hmm. And looking at their faces, it's not like in the past where they have their spines up and they're real defiant. They look like they're in demonic capture. Half of them or more don't even know what's happening. They don't even know what he said. They weren't even listening. And they're just like, well, my side's not clapping. So they're in that bubble. And it's a bubble that's like an iron dome over that part of the room. And the rest of the room is the angelic forces of good celebrating what's coming, right? Mm-hmm. They don't realize that some of them realize, but it's devastating for them. And it's just fun to watch. It's just fun all the way around, right? Watching what America stands for, coming back strong, 2 Congressional Medals of Honor, Congressional Medal of Freedom, Purple Heart.
Legion of Merit.
Can you stand against virtue and righteousness? So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Joel, your take.
My demonic capture is probably a good way to. It's the ultimate underlying thing, but like I said in my podcast yesterday, when they wouldn't even stand when the girl who was transitioned against her will, taken to another state without her parents knowing it, tried to turn her into a boy, brought her back, wouldn't give her to her parents unless they said she was a boy, put her through absolute hell. And he said, we have to end this now. And the Democrats wouldn't even stand for that. I'm like, that's the Christian. I said, that's the faith filter. I call my podcast the faith filter. I said, that's the one that just doesn't go through the filter. You can't get that square peg in a round hole.
Right.
This is where you can't say, oh, Christians can't be involved in politics. One of our parties cannot stand when you say that children should not be taken from their parents against their will, against their knowledge, and mutilated and put in a place where they're brutalized, right? You can't even do that. You are so beholden to your radical Marxist, I'll call it satanic base, because I did another podcast where Marxism does Satan's work. Satan is here to kill, rob, kill, and destroy.
Yeah,
that's
the absolute
Marxism does, and that's who they're beholden to. So a lot of them probably wanted, I wish I could stand for this, the mother of this young woman who was killed on the subway, or the one who was killed in her bathtub, right? I would love to stand for that, but I can't, because these crazy people will cut off my funding, and they'll run against me. They'll primary me or whatever. I don't know. Who knows what it is?
Right.
Or maybe we can't stand for anything Trump says, because if we do, our base will completely destroy us, because nothing Trump can do is right. Even when he's so obviously right, it's not even funny. So, yeah.
Here's all right. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate your input.
Love you guys.
Hey, Michael.
Take care.
Take care.
Here's my thing. There's 2 points of view from this. There is a Christian point of view. Then there's just the simple American point of view. What Trump said politically was brilliant. Like he plays 4D chess every single day. People can't keep up with him. He does beautifully at that. But what he said was brilliant, because he made it very clear. Listen, if you don't agree with my policies, that's one thing. If you literally do not agree with one thing that I've done, and if you don't want to stand, that's fine. That's your right. But do you think government should serve American citizens and not illegal aliens? Yes or no? And if you support Americans being served, that should bring people together. I mean, we just came off winning that massive win against Canada, representing our country in 46 years. You know, that does bring people together. And a lot of independents were watching that, thinking, I may not agree with everything Trump does, but I do agree with him on this. And that's the dividing line. Should our government focus on American citizens or not?
Yeah.
It's a simple question, but the answer is extremely revealing, as we saw.
Yeah. And it's, you say it's 4D chess. I don't think so. I mean, and I said yesterday, no other Republican president has ever done that, but that's the thing that we were always wishing they would do. It's such a gift that the Democrats give you to say, we are against everything that is America, everything, we're this, and all you have to do is point it out to people. And but it takes someone like Trump. Who else but Trump would do that? And it's what we always wished a politician would do. So here you got this brash New York kind of guy who rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But I'll take him because he's, and it's not phony. You can tell that's really the way the guy is. He talked like that when he was Democrat, but because they were so crazy, he came to the Republican side, and now, and they're very cooperative. They're just like, because like I said, they're in a complete box. They can't stand
right
for anything.
Right.
He says, and so he says, okay, if you can't stand for anything that I say, I'm going to say the most basic, the most fundamentally American, decent things.
Right.
I'm going to bring in front of you the people who have suffered the most because of your policies. And did you notice too that whenever he called for policy change, he looked at Democrats right in the eye. I mean, he was staring right at them, saying, "You need to pass this bill, that says this and this and this." But so then he turned to Republicans and says, "We're going to pass this, right?" Yeah. So it's brilliant. At the same time, it's so obviously the way to do it. But because we're so focus grouped, the Republican Party has been the mainstream, whatever you call it, Rhino Republican Party has been so focus grouped and researched and told, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that. When we're like, just do it. It's right.
Hey, Trump was like, I'm going to do it.
Victory is right there, and you won't throw the pitch.
Trump was like, I'm going to do it. We're going to keep winning. We're not going to stop winning. And I don't care how you feel because this is the right thing to do. And Lucas made a great point. It wasn't just the men's hockey team. It was women's hockey team. It was that American female skater that won gold. It was a bunch of other people that just killed
Lucas,
it.
Can I say for a guy from Canada, you're being very magnanimous right now.
Right. Right. It was a great weekend for America, a great State of the Union address. And to follow it up, let's not forget, Patriots, this July 4th is a very special July 4th. It's the 250th anniversary of our independence. Yeah. And Trump made it very clear this is going to be a very special month for us because it is special. 250 years. We're not that old. We're actually a very young country. But we are a country that wasn't supposed to happen. We were that experiment that was supposed to fail. And the whole world was watching a bunch of young men. Let's not forget Adams, Hamilton, Washington,
Jefferson,
other founding fathers.
Yeah.
They weren't old. Most of them were young men, like really young.
Yeah.
And they had the audacity to directly challenge the most powerful empire in the world and say, you know what? We're not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. They did the same thing. Right. It's right there to do. We've been governing ourselves for 150 years. We know how to do it. it's the right thing to do. What do you? I remember in the John Adams miniseries.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember when Benjamin
Yep.
Franklin makes his entrance, right? And he
Mhm.
goes, "Where are those Massachusetts men?" Right? And I want to meet those guys. Don't they
Yeah.
know that when you go up against the most powerful army in the world, you're supposed to
surrender.
lose? You
Yeah.
know, what's the matter with you?
Their cowardly victory at Concord and Lexington.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then he looks at the guy from South Carolina. All it took was what do you call them? Stones, right? All it takes is a little bit of
Testicular fortitude.
yeah, there you go.
Well, so for this Christian connection, I see that, and the first thing I came up with was the Sermon on the Mount. And Joel, I know you were able to find some good connections. So what's a good verse that really stuck out to you with comparing that to the Sermon on the Mount?
Well, obviously the one that hits you right away is in the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus starts out with, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." And that's the one that caught me, because last night, or during the State of the Union, he made a point of comforting the mother of that girl on the subway, the mother of the girl who was killed in her own home, right? The Erica Kirk, right, was still, and people who probably thought they would never find comfort in this because their government has abandoned them. Their government has failed them, right? Because of government policy, their children or their husband was taken from them, and they didn't see justice coming. And Trump looked at them and said, "Hey, to the mother of that Ukrainian girl, we will bring justice for your daughter." And for the other girl that was killed. So that's the thing that hit me first, was just that all the people who had, and a lot of people who had suffered because of Democrat policies, and because what the country, the psychosis the country went through for 4 years, right? Through the COVID and all of the cancel culture and everything else. And so that's the thing. That's the verse right away that struck me, that if you're in the United States and you feel like, because of all these failures of our government, that you will never get justice.
Right.
If you heard that speech, you have to think there will be justice for me. Somebody has heard me. And like Jesus said, and we talked about a while back, all the things that are hidden will be seen eventually.
Right.
And those who mourn will be comforted. Those who have been denied justice will get justice.
Right. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. That's the key part. Because of me being the king. Rejoice and be glad, because for your reward in heaven is great. And when we go through ups and downs, when we go through hard times and good times in our country, we as Christians have to constantly remind ourselves that our goal in life isn't to please the current administration. It isn't to just blindly follow who's in charge. It's to constantly come to grips with the love Christ had for us. That's our true purpose. That's our true goal every single day. And when you realize that we as Christians, we're already dead. We're dead to our old selves, and we are born again through Christ. You can't kill what's already dead. So let that be encouragement. So when you go through your lives and struggles come and people persecute you and there's just so much anger and hatred, you're already dead. You're dead in Christ. I'm sorry, you're already dead. But Through
Right.
Christ, you are made alive again.
I love it.
And so whenever your physical body does pass away, it's going to be okay because of the truth, of the promise.
No, and we're strangers here. We're peculiar people. We don't belong here, really.
Right.
This world, it's not our home. We weren't built for this. We were built for heaven, but we're here to be the light, in this dark place, be the salt in this tasteless, whatever world. And, and I always say, when people are used to darkness and you turn on the lights, they don't like it. Right. And they're not going to be pleased with you. Right. And, when you put salt on something, it stings, and it's a little abrasive, but that's what the truth is. That's the truth that we carry. It's a light in a dark place and salt to a tasteless world.
And again, let's not forget, like here on this channel, like I want to make this very clear. We are not here to praise Trump. We are not here to treat him like he's this perfect figure. No, Trump is very flawed in a lot of ways. He's not this like purely righteous figure. He is a broken human. Yeah, he is a broken human being, just like us, put into an extraordinary position to lead the best country in the world, but also the most complex country in the world.
Yeah.
And when you're put into that role, I wouldn't be able to do it personally. But when you put into that role, you have to be able to make decisions and lead. For better or for worse, you have to keep moving forward. But that is a divinely appointed position. And so when he's there leading our country, for better or for worse, in moments like that State of the Union address, you as the leader have to make it very clear to everybody what your role is, what your purpose is, and what your plans are. People will love it and applaud you, and some people won't move at all. They'll just sink into their chairs and fall asleep. Okay. But guess who else is watching? The rest of the world, not just America. The whole world's watching that.
Yeah.
And they see clearly, like you could be someone from Germany or South Korea or China, and you could be watching this and you could blatantly see the divide.
Yeah. And
that is huge.
Yeah. And what I worry about is that we put all this on Trump, because like I said, who else is going to do this? I don't know. And JD Vance is in training, and he sat right behind Trump and saw the master at work. Right. I'm like, dude, I hope you are learning. I hope you're not going to be George, H.W. Bush, who sat under Ronald Reagan, sat behind him, saw Reagan was a master. I mean, just, was a genteel, refined version of Trump, but he was every bit as effective. And George H.W. Bush for one, sat there, and when he got to be president, he just threw it all away. And so we can't. AC. Okay, AC thinks he is. So hopefully he'll be the one who wins. And it just depends on where the Republican Party goes from here.
Sure.
Or go from 2 years from now.
Right.
Trump's 80 years old. He's going to have to stop at some point. And when he does, is all this going to end when Trump stops? Sure.
Yeah. I have my own wishes. I have my own dreams and fantasies. There is a Trump dynasty to pull from. There's also JD Vance. There's a lot of things. But the truth of the matter is twofold. Number one, we're at a high right now. But it's going to get to another low. That's life. you're going to go to another valley. It's going to be hard again. But the second point is, regardless of what happens to our country, the constant is Christ. Never wavers, always there, always.
Yeah.
And the one thing that people who aren't Christians that will argue about, they can argue about Christianity all day, no problem. They can bring up good points about the history of Christianity, but all the opponents of Christianity can never counter Christ. His birth, his life, his death, his resurrection. There is nobody that can even come close to disproving Christ. And that's the beauty of Jesus Christ compared to every other religion out there, compared to every other religious figure. None of them even comes close. So use that to bring encouragement to everyone. Use that for y'all to get through those hard days, because they will come. Trump will not be president forever. He will have to step down eventually. J.D. Vance might become president. Someone else might become president. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
What matters is Christ. That's it. And I apologize if I tend to oversimplify things too much, but that's what keeps me going, at least.
Well, yeah, and you look at the Sermon on the Mount, and Jesus does the same thing. He breaks it down in very simple terms. You know?
Right.
And he also says in very simple terms that, we're on the winning team here. In the long game, we're going to win. And you don't, in this world, you will have tribulation, but take comfort. I have overcome the world. So whatever and like I said, if one of our parties is under satanic control, if you want to go that far with it,
Sure.
That's, to us, that is very discomforting. But that's nothing. Who are these unwashed Philistines that dare to defy the armies of the living God? That's the situation. In a nutshell, it's always been the situation.
Right.
Satan will throw everything he can at us, and he'll confuse, he'll deceive, but in the end, Jesus says, I will overcome all this. So,
and I think that's one of the reasons why I don't take like a black pill or apocalyptic approach. It's not that. It's just when I see viewpoints of, well, we have to do all this to save the world. I'm like, the world's going to end. Like,
yeah,
you can't stop it. It's going to end. Everything's going to end. And I'm ready for it. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm so ready for it. But obviously,
yeah.
I'm not in charge.
Well, yeah, beam me up, Scotty, right? Whatever. But yeah.
But,
so,
yeah.
No, but we should have that. We should have that ache, that yearning for heaven, and that
right.
longing for heaven.
Right.
So.
Well, Patriots, as always, is a great session today. Great weekend. Great State of the Union. I encourage everyone to watch it. It's like an hour.
AC's ready too.
Oh, yeah. It's like an hour and 46 or 48-minute long speech. But yeah, have a great weekend, y'all. See y'all next week. As always, God's in charge.
He is. And we're on the winning team. And whenever you get discouraged, just remember that.
That's right. Take care, Patriots.
Take care, guys. Hey, it's Joel here. If you enjoyed this, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you disagree or have a different thought, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching.